This is the story of Leonidas, the Spartan, who defied an empire with a handful of warriors. He stood against the tide of an invading force twice the size of the entire population of Athens, and in doing so, he gave birth to a legend that would echo for centuries. His name was, remember it, for it will ring through time. He stood with 300, and the world remembered. You have heard the stories, tales of valor, of a last stand against impossible odds. But how much of it is truth, and how much is myth? Welcome to my channel. The year is 480 BCE, and the east has risen like a storm. Xerxes, the self-proclaimed king of kings, commands an army that has been growing since the days of his father. Some say his force is 2 million strong, others say more. What is certain are the soldiers marching across a vast ocean of men and elephants and chariots. His ambition is to swallow Greece whole. Greece, normally divided among its independent city-states, now faces extinction. All have been warned of Xerxes' approach, all but Sparta. The Spartans fear no foe. They live for war. It is in their blood. Their queen mother, Gorgo, says, "Our male slaves have bigger hearts than most free men." Sparta is renowned for her warriors, for her fierce, unbreakable hoplites armed with long spears and massive shields, disciplined and obedient, eating, sleeping, dreaming war. Sparta's assembly discusses strategy while sipping wine, but Leonidas does not wait for permission. He already knows what must be done. While some ambassadors mouth platitudes to Xerxes buying time, Leonidas gathers his force. Sparta is ready. No man can stop her. Yet Leonidas does not rush to the gates of Athens, nor to the Isthmus of Corinth, where united Greece might make a stand. Leonidas goes north to Thermopylae, the Gates of Fire. It is a narrow coastal pass between two cliffs, a natural bottleneck leading to the main road through central Greece. On one side, the cliffs rise sheer, offering no help. On the other, the sea crashes against the rocks, a swift and merciless judge. Behind them, the road is straight and open, allowing full use of their long spears. If he can hold this pass, Leonidas can channel Xerxes' host into a corridor of death. There are 300 Spartans, plus a few thousand men from the allied states. Together, they form a shield wall 8 ranks deep, and Leonidas stands in the center, always at the front. 2 days pass and the Persians arrive. They swarm up the pass like locusts and crash against the Spartan shield wall. They die by the thousands, but still they come. Leonidas has chosen 300 men, not for their brute strength alone, but because each is a husband, each is a father. He plans not to return. If he dies, Sparta will raise new warriors. There is little chance of victory, but Leonidas offers something better: hope. Each night, as the Persians rest, counting their losses and dreaming of conquest, Leonidas and his men slip out of the pass. They race back to the rear, strike the Persian camps, and withdraw before dawn. Daybreak finds the Persians confused and shaken, vulnerable and angry. On the second day, a Greek traitor named Ephialtes shows Xerxes the hot gates and a mountain pass leading to the rear of the Spartan position. The next morning, the Persians circumvent the defenders. Leonidas knows he is trapped. He sends the allies away. He will not abandon them, but he cannot risk their blood being spilled in vain. Only the Spartans will stay. There are 300 Spartans, plus a few hundred Thespians who have come to help. Together, they face 20,000 Persians, maybe more. Hope flickers in Leonidas' breast. He prays to Apollo for a sign. The god delivers. A thin crescent moon rides high in the sky, young and waxing. Hope hardens to resolve. If Apollo is with him, then victory is not needed. A king does not need luck, only purpose. So when the sun rises on the third day, Leonidas has a decision to make. He has 2 orders: surrender and die. First, let us look at why he should surrender. It is honorable. To die fighting bravely is good, but to live and save your country, that is the ultimate test of leadership. Sparta is not destroyed. She will fight another day. Sure, 300 Spartans are dead, but Xerxes will lose thousands more. Surely, Sparta's allies will understand. Now, let us look at why he should die. Leonidas does not bend the knee. For Sparta, he is bound by oath to queen and country. Surrender is treason. He would rather die with his shield than live at Persia's mercy. Besides, who would rule Sparta then? Who would lead them against the Persians? There is one answer. Leonidas will pick the harder path. His decision made, he raises his shield and stands firm. We shall never know how many Persians died at Thermopylae. We do know, however, that the 300 Spartans lived up to their legend. For 3 days, they held the pass, fighting to the last man. Their spears broke. They fought with their swords and daggers. Shields were lost. They fought with their bare hands. Chariots came. They fought till their very last breath. Leonidas was hit by so many arrows. He was called a second Achilles. Many wondered if even Ares, the god of war, could stand so firm. He stood till his shield was shattered. Then he fought with his sword. He stood till his sword was broken. Then he fought with his hands and feet. He stood till he collapsed. He stood till he died. The Persians overwhelmed the Spartans, but they did not capture Leonidas alive. They failed to take the shield off his body, even as the life drained from his eyes. Leonidas died the death of a warrior, his shield in place, his spear by his side, facing the enemy. At the pass he had made his own. The Persians completed their encirclement, but not before sundown. By the time Xerxes was inside the pass, Leonidas was dead. Still, they found his body blocking the road, so they left it there. In the evening, after the Spartans had fallen, word spread through the Greek ranks: the Spartans are no more. Spartans who lived far from home heard it and wept. Spartans who stood with Leonidas turned and faced the Persians again. They too knew the Spartans were no more, but they fought anyway. Some say that a few Spartans were taken alive, but none surrendered. All preferred death. Some say that Xerxes offered Leonidas the chance to surrender, but he refused. The tale of Thermopylae echoes through history. 2 million Persians against 300 Spartans. Impossible odds. One nation of millions against one tiny band. Overwhelming force versus unmatched courage. Which would you bet on? When the messenger arrived in Sparta with news of Leonidas' death, Queen Mother Gorgo famously asked, "Did he die today?" When she learned he had, she replied, "Then let him be counted amongst the living as the first citizen of Sparta." Upon hearing of Leonidas' heroism, the Achaean city of Plataea sent her elite warriors to join him. The Plataeans were known as the comrades of Leonidas, having fought beside him at Thermopylae, even though they had arrived too late to join the defense of the hot gates. After Leonidas' death, the Persians stayed in the area for several months, burning and pillaging as they pleased. But they did not venture far from the pass at Thermopylae. The memory of the Spartans deterred them. As the Persian Empire spread across Western Asia and into the Middle East, its powers seemed invincible. But the Spartans proved that quantity is no match for quality. Courage is stronger than chariots. Freedom is mightier than an army. The Spartans beat back the Persians at Thermopylae, but the Persian king won the pass. Was it a victory or a defeat? Perhaps the Spartans won because they gave their lives for the freedom of Greece. And perhaps the Persians won because they took the pass into the rest of Greece. But Xerxes did lose something. At Thermopylae, he lost his invincibility. The 300 were gone, but Greece did not fall. Inspired by the Spartans, Athens rose. Sparta and together, the Greeks defeated the Persians at Salamis and Plataea. In the ensuing peace, Sparta basked in the glory of Thermopylae, but no Spartan cared for personal glory. There was no grave grand enough for Leonidas, only a statue that reads, "Go tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here, obedient to their laws, we lie." He stood with 300, and the world remembered. Have you watched our video on the Battle of Salamis yet? Then subscribe to Ruins and Realms. Check it out here, because history isn't dead. It just waits for those brave enough to remember.